Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, kicking off the Christmas season once again.
We love Christmas.
We do, and I'm digging that super cute shirt.
Like my sparkles.
Yes.
Thank you.
You have just brightening up my morning.
I love Christmas sweaters.
I
like ugly ones and I like pretty ones.
Just getting ready
I like them all.
Yeah, that's another. We could throw in ugly Christmas.
Yeah,
sweaters
we should do that next week.
Yeah,
let's wear some ugly ones.
I have one if I haven't got too fat for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have one too, but I haven't seen it this year. I don't know.
Huh? I don't know.
I have to look.
I don't know, but I've been eating way too many cookies.
Yes, me too.
It's bad.
Yeah, the Christmas cookie game is real. And Silas had a birthday yesterday,
see, that's terrible.
So our sweetheart of a neighbor, Ashley Hildebrand, she makes really good chocolate chip cookies, and that's what the kids always want for their birthdays. So she brought over a whole box of her cookies last night.
Oh, I eat them all. I love them.
Oh gosh, they're so good.
Let me tell you. So we had a great event this last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Our Nostalgia Theater's children's Christmas play
was an amazing success.
It was an amazing success. We were sold out.
Yes, we packed the place, and the kids did so good. We had the best kids.
We had the best kids this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we afterwards, we always have cast parties, which we used to do pizzas. I think kids get tired of pizza.
I think they do too. Every time they have a party, it's pizza.
It is. So we started tacos.
Taco bar,
which I love.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I went over to the Outpost there at Restaurant Flora, and there's a lady who makes those cookies.
Well, I heard it was Julie Stortum, but I'm not 100% on that.
I feel like you might be right.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness sakes alive.
Not only were they beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
They were very tasty.
And huge. They're like the old Anderson's Bakery cookie. I don't know what happened. Yeah, with the Santa faces and the big hat. I highly recommend. But with that being said, I bought 5 dozen. They went through them all except for about the last 9.
Did you take them home?
I did. But I have 2 exchange students in the house, so I gave them, and of course Jack and JoJo, needless to say, they didn't eat I better not say they didn't eat their spaghetti they wanted, because I was like, look what Yaya has. They're like cookies because they're both sweet lovers. But those cookies were fantastic. So, but I'm almost to the point where it's like I'm already over all that stuff. But what's funny today, we're talking about that in our episode today is all about Christmas food.
Yep, today we're going to talk about Christmas food. Some that's good and some that is questionably.
Well, there is some questionable things on there. But the Christmas play. Thank you to our supporters, our sponsors.
The people that showed up at the door and came to support those kids, and all the parents and all of the kids that were in it that put so many hours into it, showing up to practice.
Yeah, I don't think people
twice
realize
a week since October.
Yeah, this is not your church play. This is not like, we're going to get together a couple times on Sunday and sing. No, this is a full-blown play with music and sound effects and lights and acting and singing and dancing. And it's we start on this in October. And Beth and I lose our lives.
And as much as I love the play, because when I say this, don't take it the wrong way, because I really do love it. And
I love it too.
And I seriously, yesterday was Monday, and I was kind of sad because I was thinking, I'm not going to get to see all those kids tonight. I'm a little sad. But then I did have a great evening with my family last night, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't have practice tonight because I got to enjoy all of this. So it's good to have a balance, I suppose.
I'm still tired. I look a little drained. I tried to make up a little bit. But I can always tell when I get to this because, we have the Monday night practice. I have Monday night practices and Tuesday night practices, and we both work. And then Wednesday night, help with the youth at church. Thursday night, have worship band practice. So literally since the second week of October, I have literally had Friday and Saturday to myself. And that was it. And then there's always something to do and laundry to do and blah, blah, blah. But we love it. We do love it. We're looking forward to next year. I've been already scoping out new plays for next year.
Yep. The kids are already asking, what are we doing next year? What will it be about?
Oh, they're cracking me up. So, this play was it was actually biblical.
Yeah,
this
year we did a biblical one.
It was very biblical.
We've never done that before.
Me crazy.
We've always done the past ones were A Christmas Carol and
Christmas in the Land of Oz.
Yes, that was a good one.
And North Pole's Got Talent.
Yes, that was
that
cute
was a
too.
cute one. But this year we went biblical, very biblical actually, and it was really nice. But it had a lot of fun stuff in there too. I really feel good about this play. I really feel good about this play. But it was sad too. I even got choked up one time because I was talking about we had the 4 girls: Katie Muskoff, Samantha Mossberger, Jaden Sloan, and Madison Slover, who've been with us since basically the beginning when we started doing this. And I think we started this in 2019.
I think so too.
19, 20, 21. No, we didn't do 20. So 19, 21, 22, and 23. This is number 4. And I mean, when you get to used to, and some of these kids were like even in our adult shows that we do too.
Yeah, they've been in a lot of plays with us, but with the children's play, we have a cutoff age of 18. So after that point, you can't be in the children's play anymore. You can be in the spring play with us, the one that has adults in it, but we kind of cut that because we want to keep it at children. So
we want to keep it children.
They aged out, these 4 girls, and then one boy too from Clay City that had just joined us this year. But it was sad because all of these girls were so emotional over leaving us and then on the stage and the thing about this group of kids is they really like the older ones mentor the younger ones and the younger ones look up to them and think they're amazing and hang out with them and joke and have fun and the younger ones were in tears because their friends were not going to be in it anymore.
I didn't realize it was going to be like that.
Yeah, it was a little there was a lot of tears and I'm not a crier. I'm not a crier either. So I'm
not a crier and I can feel it when I'm like
And I have 2 girls, and they're also not criers. And so it was all a little foreign to me, and I was like, oh, I feel really bad for you.
Well, I have 2 boys. They don't cry either. But yeah, it was just like, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting.
Yeah, I hadn't really looked at it like that.
Yeah,
but,
it was like, oh my gosh,
I'm glad that they love us that much. Doesn't that speak volumes? Like they love the play that much, they're gonna cry.
Yeah,
because they have to leave.
They've been so good, but
anyway.
So we really find us. Beth and I both live in Florida. We're easy to find. We're both on Facebook. Come to stop off at the theater. But yeah, we want to build. I would like to build that even bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep. Sign up for our Christmas play is always at Apple Knocker. One of us is always there. We have a sign up sheet. We're usually up by the sound booth, and we're just sitting there with our sign up sheet. And anyone ages 5 and up. We originally started with a little older kids, but we've opened it up to even.
We got to get that cute factor in.
Yeah, we throw in the cute factor, and they don't. The 5-year-olds don't have any. Some of them don't have any lines.
No, they come out
some
there
of them
and
just dance and sing one song or something. But the older ones have lines. But yeah,
you know who turns 5 in May?
Jack.
My Jack.
Is he going to do it?
Heck yeah, he is.
Okay.
This might be a shock to his parents. But well, and for the little bitty ones, we don't have them come the whole time.
They don't come to every practice. They just show up like the week before
and do their cute stuff. But anyway,
yes,
off with our Christmas food. Okay.
Well, first we have an ad. Do we have an ad?
We do have an ad.
We got to start with our ad. We've never had a show.
Let's not do this one. Let's do the other one because the other one goes. Yeah, let's do. I picked out your Coke ad.
Oh, okay.
Let's show Santa Claus here.
This is a classic holiday ad.
1950s. Refreshing surprise. Stock up for the holidays. Santa just got caught in the refrigerator.
Isn't that a cute Santa?
He's adorable.
Like the Coca-Cola Santas were always the most adorable. Whoever the artist was or whatever that did these ads, or if they had is this more like a photograph or is this like an artist rendering?
It's the 50s.
I don't know. But
look at the rosy cheek. Yeah, that's an adorable Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love him.
In my mind, that is the Santa Claus.
Yeah, that is. And the little kid, it must be a little girl. She's in pink with little blonde curls. Check it out. Say, hey, Santa.
What you doing?
Yeah.
What you getting?
Did you ever have a time, Beth, where you thought that you caught Santa Claus?
Nope.
No, well, Buffy and I did. My cousin Buffy, I talk about her a lot on the show. She's my cousin, and it's like your first best friend. And we were going to stay up. We stayed up, and we caught Santa Claus coming.
Did you?
We sure did. We were we were behind the couch in the front living room. I'll never forget. It was one of them. My mom had that couch recovered. It was a peacocks.
Oh my gosh.
Blue, gold peacocks.
Oh, that's funny.
It was the 70s. It was awesome.
Bet you wish you still had it.
I bet I do wish I do have one of the chairs, but it's covered differently. But yeah, we did. We caught Santa Claus. We did, and I don't think Santa Claus knew we were there.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, we caught Santa. Saw the boots and everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We were super
Well,
excited.
that's exciting.
About that. It was. That was awesome. So
yeah.
But you never did catch Santa, huh?
I didn't. I always tried to stay up to catch him, but I always fell asleep. I'm a girl that likes my sleep.
Yeah. I never could sleep. My sisters always had to wake me up on Christmas morning.
My family was like that too. We were never a family that like got up really early.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, we
I'm
were
a
up by
sleeper.
8 probably,
Yeah.
but not like we're not the kind of people that are like 4 a.m.
Oh,
getting up.
no.
And my kids were never like that either. That stuff doesn't happen in my house.
Well, my dad was always up because he was always cooking a turkey. My dad was the
Cookie
turkey
cooker.
He babied that thing all night. He set up his alarm to baste that sucker.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad was insane about that.
Okay. You know what about turkey? And I don't think you can beat a fried turkey.
Never had one. I'm too afraid. You see him exploding all over the place.
Well, I'll tell you what, my uncle, Timmy A. Strike, is the master at frying turkeys.
Really?
Yes, because he does it every year for Thanksgiving, and they are amazing. I think he does it at Christmas, too. But, yeah, I should save you a piece next time because it's good.
Really?
It is the best.
Well,
It's got so much more flavor than a baked turkey.
well, yeah, everything fried's got.
Yeah, you can fry
You could-
just about anything. I think
Fry-
they have proved that at the state fair.
You can literally fry anything.
Yes.
We're going to take, and now that we're already talking, see, we always go here. We
Yeah.
always go to food.
Yeah.
We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to be back with some very interesting Christmas foods.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Give me all your lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're going to talk about holiday food.
Holiday food, fattening food. We're just talking about deep fried turkey.
Yes, that's a good one.
That's a good one, but
Yes.
we're going to go a little bit way back. But Beth, let's talk a little bit about First Christian Church's Christmas Eve that we do.
That's right. So Stacey and I are both members at First Christian Church in Flora, and they do a Christmas Eve dinner and gifts for anybody that wants a meal that night, and it is free. No charge. It's not donation. It's
Nothing.
just, it's free. and they deliver. If you're local, you can call the church. What is their number? It's 618-662-76. Is your shop 06 or 26?
I'm 7606.
Okay, then their number is 7626.
626. Yeah.
And you can call, and they're there Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And you can make a reservation for delivery, and someone will bring you a hot meal. This year it is pork
loin, mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, rolls,
and a dessert.
Yeah.
And that will be delivered to your home.
Yeah, and presents, and
Yes, but if you eat if you choose to eat at the church and you bring your children, the children all get a gift.
Is that how that would? So
yes,
we
you don't deliver gifts. For the children to get gifts, you have to be there in person. And but yeah, we have a big room. It's full of seating, and you can come eat a hot meal on Christmas Eve. I think the time it starts is 4:00. Is that right?
Yeah, because we have that Christmas Eve service.
And then
at
I think it's from 4 to 6, and then there's a service upstairs. It's not mandatory that you go to that, but if you'd like to go to that, it starts at 6:30.
Yeah, it's just singing and
it's a great meal.
It's a great meal.
And I think
they work hard.
I think we usually feed around 1,000 people.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but we love it. It's what they do. I'm Beth is in the kitchen. I'm not in the kitchen. They don't let me in there. You don't want me in the kitchen. I'm going to be standing in the hallway giving out presents.
Yeah, that'll be a good job for you.
That's a good job for me. The kitchen makes me nervous. But since we're talking about kitchen, let's talk about Christmas food.
Okay.
So you want to just bounce back and forth?
Sure.
Okay. So I found out some really weird stuff about gingerbread men.
Okay, gingerbread's top of my list too.
I mean, seriously. Okay, so 16th century. So you're talking the 1500s. England. Okay, Elizabeth I had when she had guests over, she had her people make biscuits in the likeness of her guests.
Okay, and when they say biscuits, that's what English people call cookies.
Yeah.
So she had them make cookies in the likenesses of her guests. And then I'm going to bite your little head off.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. So Elizabeth I in the 1500s, would have definitely.
Yes. Well, it goes back even further than that in my notes.
What'd you find?
It actually goes back to ancient Greece, to the year 2400 BC.
Woo! Before Christ. Huh?
Yeah, like way back.
Way back.
Is the formula was developed and remixed. But that is the first known recipe of the sweet treat. It was a little different, obviously, but that was the first known recipe. I don't know how they found it and how they read it, but anyway, that's what they say here. So that's what I found.
Well, that's
but then Queen Elizabeth was the one that made it into what it is, and then from there, I guess it was kind of a hit. So then people actually started eating gingerbread all year round.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, I don't know if I really have eaten a gingerbread.
They started making them into different shapes for different seasons.
Yeah.
So, like in the summer, you might have a flower or something, gingerbread flower.
There's a little bit of folklore that goes along with the gingerbread man too.
Okay, but as to your question of whether or not I've eaten it, I have eaten it, and I do not like it.
See, I don't think like
it's
ginger.
Very good.
See, I don't like ginger. I'm not a ginger.
I don't like ginger.
I don't like ginger.
The taste of it either. No,
it's a little. Yeah, I'm not a real big ginger fan.
No, they always say like ginger is good for nausea. So like if you're sick to your stomach, you should suck on like a ginger pop or something. And that was the thing. When I was pregnant, they would sell these pregnancy pops, and they were like ginger flavored. And if you had morning sickness, you were to like eat one of these suckers, and it would like soothe your stomach, and you wouldn't be nauseated. Which I had great pregnancies and wasn't really sick. But
I wasn't sick that way.
There was a couple of times early in my pregnancy with Carissa where I did feel a little sick, and I bought some of those, and that was what was going to make me gag. The taste of those stupid suckers. Those were way worse.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
No thanks. Anyway, tell me about them.
Okay, so the gingerbread man, there's folklore that goes along with it too. Apparently, like the gingerbread men, as they're being cooked, would jump out of the oven and take off running through the town.
Yes, I remember that from when I was a kid. There was a cartoon about that. Was there actually a gingerbread man cartoon? Like, this is all coming back to me.
I think so, yeah. It seems like the gingerbread men are always...
Yeah, he was ornery.
Yeah, and
so
there's a little folklore there.
Yeah.
And then we have, and of course, then the gingerbread houses came to be.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the gingerbread houses were inspired by the Brothers Grimm, the witch's cottage made of candy and cookies from Hansel and Gretel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where that comes.
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel, that old house. Yeah.
Do they still doing? Are the schools still doing the gingerbread houses?
Yes. So there is a gingerbread house contest in Flora, and I think they're back at the depot this year. But I don't think they've been dropped off yet. I think that they're going to be dropped off within the next week. Because
cool.
my daughter Carissa is in the foods class, and she is actually in the contest this year.
I like it.
So you need to, and they will be upstairs instead of being in the train room, they're going to be upstairs in the main room on the second floor. And I need you all to go vote on your favorite gingerbread house, and it'll say who made each one, and you may, if you're local, you may know someone that entered one. You may want to vote for them.
Yeah.
If you don't know them, vote for my daughter Carissa Cooper.
Well, it's really cool, and those kids really knock it out of the park. It's really neat. So go up there and support the kids.
Cute.
More things to support children.
Yep.
Well, yeah. So
what's next on your list?
Well, when you're talking Christmas cuisine, can you really get away with anything but the fruitcake? Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, I've never even tasted a fruitcake.
I have not tasted fruitcake either, because the whole idea of it is kind of gross.
Well,
no, I take that back. I think when I was a kid, they sold like little bitty ones, and I might have tasted that.
Really? Yeah, I'm not a big fruitcake person, but what I got on fruitcakes is it comes from ancient Egypt. So apparently, I also found out information on fruitcakes. Fruitcakes are the longest lasting food.
Yeah, they last forever.
They last forever.
In fact, the ones that are in the stores now...
That was from 1952.
Yeah, they were probably actually baked in 1952 when it was a popular thing. They just didn't sell fast enough, so they just put them out every year.
Yeah, they're I don't know. But what I found out was they're very long lasting. Get this. So I was studying the fruitcake, right? Mm-hmm. So apparently back in ancient Egypt, those long lasting fruits were placed in the Great Pyramids next to the dead royalty to sweeten their time in the afterlife.
Oh.
Did you come across that?
No, I didn't come across that. But
yeah, so it's so ancient Egypt would make these fruitcakes that would last forever, and they literally buried them with their dead in the pyramids so they would have a sweet treat.
Dang, I'd be like, could you left me the gingerbread? I mean, I would take
I'd
that
have been
over the
leave me a
fruitcake.
pizza, man. Well, the thing about it is when I'm dead, I don't want to be eating any of that. I want my old body back.
Yeah, so fruitcakes, this is just what I have explaining what it is. A fruitcake are just cakes with candied or dried fruit, nuts, and spices. Pretty simple, but whatever reason, when they put it all together, it looks gross.
It does. So here's another thing I found about fruitcakes. Fruitcakes, the reason why they're so long is they're basically sugar, they're low moisture, they are cooked on an extremely high temperature, what makes it pretty much free of bacteria, and it's super dense texture.
And dry.
That's why it lasts so long. They basically bake everything. It's a low moisture thing. Because you would think with those, you're the cook here, you would think that fruit would make it, that seems like it would be just the opposite to me.
I don't know.
The fruit would make it, because
moist. Maybe it is.
But they
I haven't
say
actually
it's
tasted.
No, they say that's why it lasts so long, because it's not moist,
dry.
it's
Yeah,
super dry.
that's what I thought.
Because whenever you make a fruit pie or something, it makes its own juice.
Right.
But I guess maybe if you,
it's almost like they dehydrate. It's like dehydrated.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I have, because of the how long it takes to make one and the price of the ingredients that goes into doing it. That's why it's mainly done at Christmas, because through the 18th and 19th century, as these things were more expensive to buy, people decided to make them at Christmas because that was the time to celebrate, and it was something that took a lot of effort to make.
I also found that the Romans called it satura, Satura. So the Romans would make these fruit cakes that last forever, and that's what they would eat when they were on their long journeys fighting. So that's what the women would make, was be these
kind of like in the Civil War, that era of our history in the United States, they all had hardtack.
What?
Hardtack, which was just like a flat dry biscuit, basically.
Yeah.
But that's why they used hardtack, because it traveled well and it was dry, and so the Romans had fruitcake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Tasted better than hardtack.
Heavy. Of course, them Romans probably weren't. I mean, they probably big. You know, when you think of the Roman, you think of like the movie 300. You know, with Gerard Butler and all them beefy men. You know, so I'm like thinking, here, honey, here's your fruitcake.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what I got on fruitcake.
Okay.
Throw me some. What do you
So
got
I
out
have
there?
apple cider. So you want to talk about apple cider?
Let's talk about that good apple cider.
Okay.
You need to teach me how to make it, because whatever we had the other day was really good.
Yeah.
At that.
We had that really good apple cider at the...
Because it wasn't like pulpy and it was clear.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo about liquids that I can't see through. I am not going to lie.
You don't like dark... Don't like to drink
I want to
anything
see
dark.
through it. I know that's such the weirdest thing. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's said that Julius Caesar and his friends were the ones that found drinking cider, that started
Really?
drinking cider in 55 BC. I don't know how they know that for sure. But Europeans are the ones that brought it to the United States. And the reason that Johnny Appleseed started planting all of the apple trees here was to make apple cider. I don't
Really?
think Johnny Appleseed had in mind apple pie. I think he was thinking
Cider?
cider.
Because cider came before pie, you think?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Apparently Johnny Appleseed liked cider. I don't know.
Isn't there a nursery rhyme about Johnny Appleseed, or am I thinking the Plum Kid?
Don't know. So this is interesting. In the early 20th century, the combination of improved refrigeration, so we actually had technology to keep things cold, and the teetotalism movement, where people were kind of against drinking, that this allowed humans to drink the unfermented juice of apples, which led to Americans calling an unfiltered juice cider. But the rest of the English-speaking world, they only call it cider if it's an alcoholic beverage. So in America, we sometimes say cider, but really it's more like apple juice because there's no liquor in it. But
I see.
And if you were in Europe, it would only be a cider if it was alcoholic and fermented.
Okay. That's an interesting tale.
Yep.
Hey, well, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back with more interesting food facts.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we are talking about fun, fattening holiday food.
Yes, some good. Some sound so tasty, and others don't sound good at all.
Some just don't. I don't know.
I have to be honest and say something today. I was actually going to make a couple of these dishes and bring them in today and do a live taste testing. And I had a really busy week, guys. I mean, I've been swamped. And I totally forgot. I forgot all about making the food. And I got here this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot the food.
I'm like, man, we're looking good today. And she's like, I forgot to cook food. I'm like, oh.
So just close your eyes and imagine that we do a taste test of these items. And well, we can tell you what we would have thought
Chances are we probably wouldn't have liked anything anyway.
Yeah, I was only going to make the gross ones to, like, prove a point. But, okay. Yeah. Let's talk about cranberry sauce. Is that on your list? Do you like that?
You know, no. I'm the weirdest eater. I like what I like. I do not have a broad variety of things I
don't
like.
either. Stacey and I are the same about that. We don't have a palate that's like real.
No.
I call it cityfied.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to, like, I hope if you're from a city, you're not
I call
offended by that. But
there's nothing worse than rich people food. Rich people food is horrible.
Yep.
I hate going to a wedding where they're rich because it's like, what is this stuff? Where's the chicken?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
where's the green beans? Mashed potatoes?
We're simple comfort food people.
I had a cousin that got married one time, and I'm like, I don't even know what half this stuff is.
Yeah,
and I didn't like.
I went on a cruise for our honeymoon, and they served me. I ordered the fish, and I love fish, and it was so fancy looking I couldn't eat it, and it had caviar on the top of it.
Nope.
And I was gonna like lose it at the table. I couldn't eat. I didn't eat a bite of it. That whole entire cruise, I lived on French fries and pineapple.
I've been on 2 cruises in my life. I lived on hot dogs and cheeseburger and pizza. And my Aunt Barb was the same way. My mom, my Aunt Barb, and Buffy. Aunt Barb was Buffy's mom, and now I am not a fancy. One time I'll never forget. Jim and I were at Phil and Cindy Leap's house for New Year's Eve, and it was we were playing games, and one of the questions was like, oh, who here is probably the most extravagant and Phil was like, he put me down there. And Jim was like, why would you put Stacey? She doesn't eat anything. He's like, she travels everywhere. I figured everywhere she went, she traveled. She would eat new stuff. It's like, no, I didn't try. When Jim and I were in Europe, he'll try.
He'll try anything.
He'll try anything.
He's like the little boy in the commercial.
Mikey, he likes it.
Yeah, he'll eat anything.
Here's me, Jim. Like, he'd be like, oh, just try it. And I'm like,
yeah. I'm not big on that either, and I don't push my kid. I mean, some people are like, you should make them eat that. I'm like, why? I wouldn't eat it.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Me either.
But anyway, let's talk about cranberry sauce because I'm not a cranberry sauce eater. I never put it on my plate.
I don't either.
But this is another example of something that we tried when we were at that medieval.
Yeah. It was a.
What was that called again? A cantata, not a cantata.
No, madrigal.
The madrigal that we went to in Palestine.
Talked about the other day.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Well, they had a cranberry. What do they call it? Cranberry
puree.
No,
wasn't it a puree?
It started with a C. Cranberry compote. They called it cranberry compote. That's what it was called on the menu. And I passed. I didn't take any, but Stacey feeling very. What would be the word?
I was getting ready to jump off a cliff.
Yeah, I was a little risky. She was a little risky that night, and she was like, I'm going to try the cranberry compote.
Had my grit and my gumption.
You did.
That night.
Yes.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad. She was
bad.
like, you have to try it. So I took a bite of hers, and it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I did eat the whole thing. I didn't love it. I would never eat it again.
It was only a little tiny, couple spoonfuls.
But it was almost like a palate cleanser, to be perfectly honest.
Maybe that's why they serve it like that. Because it was different courses. Like, we had different courses, and this was in between courses. But
my sister, Diane, brings this cranberry stuff for everything, and but she's got whipped cream on top of it.
Oh, well, there you go. But I might make it better. So, anyway, cranberries were harvested. Are harvested through September through November. So that is why a lot of times at the holidays the cranberries are served, because that's when they're fresh, when they're harvested and they're ready.
Which it's cool how they're.
Yes, they grow in a bog. I mean, that's something you guys can look up, but it's cool how they're grown. But there was a man named Marcus Uran. That's how it's spelled. Uran. I'm gonna say Uran just because urine.
Maybe it's urine.
I don't know. Okay, but anyway, poor guy.
I feel bad for him. I would hate to have that last name.
Oh gosh. Anyway.
Hey, urine. Hold on. Here comes urine. Oh my gosh, we better edit this out. Ooh, that's funny.
Anyway, he was the first one to can cranberries in 1912. You made me cry.
I know, it's funny, isn't it?
Oh, gosh. Anyway, 1912.
Urine's a coming.
I
I can't stop. Okay, stop.
Oh,
stop.
golly.
Stop,
Okay.
brain. Stop, brain.
Anyway, let's move on to eggnog because that's cracking
Yeah,
me up.
let's go. Just
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I'm
we're
crying.
good. We need to. I'm gonna scoot out a line of fire here.
All right, so eggnog. This is one thing I was going to bring today.
Yeah.
I was actually going to buy it. I wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, how do you even
And-
make that stuff?
Well, I didn't print out a recipe, but it sounded gross.
Well-
But I can talk about it a little bit. Let's see. It's based on a medieval drink called posset. I didn't know that, which consisted of milk and eggs and some form of alcohol like sherry or Madeira. What's Madeira?
I don't know what Madeira is. Ty, what's Madeira? I know what sherry is.
Uh-huh.
You cook with sherry a lot,
Yeah,
right?
mhm. But since all of
Here's
the
how I cook with sherry.
Oh, you do not.
I do not. No, I
Oh,
don't.
she doesn't cook. Don't let her fool you.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't cook. We are both a little slap happy on this.
We've had a busy week.
We're-
Okay.
Okay, go
Since
on.
all of the ingredients for eggnog were very expensive,
Yeah.
it became a drink for the wealthy. So it was like,
Ooh.
I'm fancy, I'm going to drink eggnog. And the poor people were probably like, y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
It sounded gross to me, but okay. So in the winter, the wealthy would drink warm milk and egg drinks with exclusive spices
Ew,
and
that just
liquors.
sounds disgusting.
Eventually, people in the American colonies were able to harvest the ingredients from their own farms, and the drink caught on again. So, in fact, the one that we have around here is uniquely American thanks to the rum. Most people that put alcohol in eggnog around here usually use rum. That makes it American instead of English
Right.
because the American rum never really caught on with the British. So they,
Really?
I guess they stick with sherry
The
and
sherry.
Madeira.
Now, I don't understand. Okay, so you said warm milk. How does that? This is my.
How does it
stupid-
not spoil?
How does it not cook the egg?
Well, how if there's raw eggs in it?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with eating raw cookie dough. I've said that on other episodes, and that has and there's always the warning: do not eat because it contains raw
Oh,
egg.
I will too. Before I go on my diet,
I
I'm
don't know
gonna
one
eat a
single
little-
person that has ever died from eating
No,
cookie dough.
but this
But
is a game changer.
This, I think, is made with like eggs stirred into it, and it's not.
And it's warm.
I mean, maybe they do warm it up and it cooks the egg enough to kill any bacteria in there. But a lot of times it's served cold, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't
Or
know.
at
I've
room
never had it.
temperature. I mean, I've
Well,
seen
it sits
people
out. Anybody that
they leave it sitting out for a long time
see, I don't know. I don't understand it.
in like a punch bowl,
yeah.
and I'm like, I'll pass. Like
No.
just
It reminds me, like, we talked about buttermilk before. Mm-hmm. My dad, Bill Hemphill, loved buttermilk. I've never tried it. Once again, it's thick. I don't like anything thick.
yeah.
And I want to see through it. So, no, eggnog is not my thing.
No, mine either. But
No, I
it would have
just
been
don't-
fun to taste it on air. So imagine that we did, and we just we didn't like it.
Yeah, because
So,
I'd be like,
yeah,
yeah.
no thanks.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, maybe it's an acquired taste. I mean,
Yeah.
there are some things that I think you have to taste multiple times before you actually are like, I like it. Like coffee. I feel like that's one
yeah.
you can't just. No
Beer-
one drinks coffee the
Beer
very
is an
first time.
acquired taste.
Black olives are an acquired taste.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It took me 44 years, but I managed.
You know what? I used to
acquire
talk about, like, when I was a little girl, old people food. Coleslaw, potato salad, macaroni salad, pea salad, green bean salad, all those salads. Because it was like all the old people always brought those. Now I'm the old person. I love all that stuff.
Yeah,
now.
I like
but
most
it
of
took
that,
me,
too.
It took me 40 years. I only
To
started
like
eating
it?
that stuff about 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, really? Oh, I've always eaten coleslaw. My
I
mom
haven't.
makes a really good coleslaw, but
Ooh, I
there's
love that.
different kinds of coleslaw. So you have your vinegar based
Yuck.
or your cream based.
I want creamy based.
Yeah, that's what I make. It's delicious.
My favorite is Long
my
John
mom's
Silver's.
recipe.
My
yeah, they
goodness.
always had good coleslaw.
Yeah, Long John Silver's has good coleslaw. Julian's in Florida has good coleslaw.
Oh,
too.
no, I don't know that I've had
Yeah,
theirs.
but Julian's is good too. Okay.
Okay. So next on my list is a rather new one to the game of holiday foods, but it's an important one, and it's one that I actually really like. I don't know if you do, but it is green bean casserole.
I love green bean casserole.
Yes. So this is something that started a little bit earlier than I thought. late 19th century, so this would be the late 1800s.
You know what I realized as we're going through this?
Uh-huh.
We got pictures of all this food.
Oh, yeah, we need to show some of our pictures. Ty's probably like, why aren't we showing it? Yeah, so here's a
There's
picture
the
of
eggnog.
eggnog. Yeah.
Now, see, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. We can't see through it.
No, you can't see through it. I like those glasses the way they're dented.
Mm-hmm.
Show a picture of my gingerbread house that I so beautifully put up there. Look how cute that is.
That is a cute one.
It does look like Hansel and Gretel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my gingerbread man. Look at how cute they are.
Cute.
Huh.
Cute. Yeah, did I send one a green bean casserole? I can't remember. No, probably didn't. We all know what that looks like.
Oh, good Lord. There's the dreaded fruitcake.
Yeah, there's the fruitcake.
It almost like they just put, that don't look like fruit to me. That looks like they put
those candies in it that you buy in the bulk. But
yes.
At the grocery store in
It's
1985.
got me intrigued. I'm going to buy one today.
Are you really? Yeah.
Now that looks like that's got raisins in it.
Yeah, those are probably raisins or currants or something in the I don't know. I'm just not into that.
What else have we talked about that we haven't come across one of the other ones we're going to talk about?
Okay. So it says Americans have been making creamed vegetables, including green beans, since the late 19th century, which I would have thought this was more like a 1950s kind of thing when it started, but apparently it was earlier than that.
I wouldn't have thought that either.
When cream of mushroom soup was created, it became a common replacement for the white sauce. But the modern version of this dish was standardized by Campbell's in 1955. I was right about the 50s. I mean, that's when Campbell's kind of came in.
Now, see, I never use, if I'm going to use, I don't hardly ever use cream of mushroom, so I'm going to go with cream of chicken or cream of celery.
What? No, I
never
mushroom.
use cream of mushroom.
I use that way more than anything else.
Do you? I don't.
Love it. I used it yesterday in a tuna noodle casserole.
Beth, that was good.
It was good. But Campbell's invented it simply to promote their soup.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They didn't really think it would catch on like it did, but it said smothering things was a trend at the time. And the recipe got boxed to the Thanksgiving zone. So it kind of took, they started promoting it at Thanksgiving.
I think that your Thanksgiving meal is more all the I think a lot of people kind of stopped doing. My grandmother, show that next picture here real quick, Ty, that you got on the screen right there. This was back whenever we were younger. The turkey, the pies, this would be the cranberries are there, the banana nut bread. This was what would have been years ago. But I think people now, that's a beautiful table setting, by the way.
Yeah.
And but
we still have all the traditional things at our meal.
We don't. We started doing because once my granny got a little bit old. I mean, we just started doing soups and finger foods.
Oh,
ham.
That's so sad. You should come to ours. You should come to ours. We're super traditional. But anyway, I want to say about Campbell's is that they make $20 million a year now off of cans of cream of mushroom soup at Thanksgiving time.
Get out.
Just off of cans. And
you're kidding me.
And you're not even contributing to that.
I am
20
not.
million.
Well, how much do they make off cream of chicken?
I don't know. I just have the cream.
I use cream of chicken. Wow.
$20 million.
Wow. Well, he's gonna Google how much cream of chicken. I bet mushroom's bigger than chicken, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna come back to a commercial break after this. We'll talk about cream of mushroom or chicken.
Okay.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Royal King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Royal King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we are having a very good time talking about food, holiday food in particular.
Oh,
and so I have a lot left on my list, so I'm going to fly through them a little faster.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying not to say anybody's last names. All right. Peppermint bark.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Yes.
Love,
candy
love.
cane bits nestled on top of half of milk chocolate, half white chocolate. Mm-hmm. It always comes back around at Christmas. And it dates back to the 1960s, so not near
Peppermint bark? That's only the 60s.
Yes.
Oh, did you talk about rock candy?
No, I didn't talk about that, but that's good. We used to make that in foods. It's not on my list. It's probably.
We'll talk. I'm gonna write down.
Maybe
rock
it's a
candy,
Clay County thing,
and we're gonna talk about how we used to make rock candy.
Yeah, we can talk about it now if you want.
Oh, okay.
I used to make it in foods class at North Clay High School.
We made it in foods class. The best part about rock candy is if you were.
Yeah,
breaking
it up into pieces.
My favorite. Oh my gosh. Oh, who was it? I don't like cinnamon. I don't like anything.
No,
hot.
I don't like cinnamon either.
Somebody had made a bubblegum flavored rock candy. Fantastic.
Oh, I don't like bubblegum flavored anything.
She's so weird.
No, but I don't know. I'll try you the others. Let's go. Let's change it. Let's go to our favorite thing. The one thing that you and I both will take a bunch of on our plate if it is there, and that is stuffing, or what some
dressing.
may call dressing. Yes.
Yum, my favorite thing.
I call it both because I originally they started calling it stuffing because it was stuffed inside the bird. But nobody really does that anymore.
I don't even understand how people. Oh, I cook it in there. Well, that's enough for me.
Yeah,
I mean that's not a big bird.
Yeah, I mean you're not. We need a big old plate of it here.
I do a roasting pan.
Yeah, that's what they do at
our
family too.
Yeah,
okay,
that's my favorite.
The first mention of stuffing meat with something for added flavor appears in a collection of Roman recipes.
Wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So way back, the ancient cook suggested stuffing hares, like rabbits, that kind of hair. Chickens, not hair. Hare, H-A-R-E, hares, rabbits, chickens, sardines, and squid.
What? No.
We don't have squid around here. We don't have to worry about stuffing that.
Stuffing octopus.
But eventually the Europeans started, kind of caught on, and then the French. And today most cooks stick to non-meat filling, so that means they're just making it on the side.
I love it.
Let's see. Yeah.
I love it.
People call it stuffing or dressing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
love
it too.
I'm not a real big sage. I mean, I put sage in it, but I don't want it over sagey.
Yeah, I don't want it over sagey.
I don't want. I bet it's literally probably one of my favorite foods.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I love
my grandma Rose.
You either
made the
love
best.
it or you don't. I don't think there's an in between. Well, it's okay. I think that it's one of those things.
Yeah, you either love it.
You're either in it to win it or you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my favorite.
So the next thing I want to talk about. Just because I feel like we might run out of time, so we'll go to this one in case we don't get to the others. But figgy pudding. It's not really pudding.
It's not.
It's more like a cake.
Yeah.
And it contains figs, and it is topped with brandy.
Well, you know what? So let's just do a look because I've got plum pudding.
So it can also be called plum pudding.
Or Christmas pudding.
Christmas pudding.
If you're plum pudding, it's English. If it's figgy pudding, it's Irish, correct?
I don't know about that.
And then if you're American, it's Christmas pudding.
Mm-hmm. But it became popular from "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." There's the verse about figgy pudding.
Yeah.
But It actually has been around since the mid 1600s, but around that time it was actually banned by English Puritans because of the large amount of alcohol content. You know,
Well-
they were all about, you know, being pure and, and
well,
no
because
drinking.
I've got its cake batter with dried fruits soaked in brandy, and there's no plums in it. Show a picture of that, what I sent for plum pudding. See, it just doesn't look appealing to me.
Nope. But this is one of the items I was going to make today, and then I was going to actually light it on fire.
What?
I'll get to that in a minute. You light it on fire before you serve it.
Then I hope you put the fire out.
Yeah. But this is interesting. It was a medieval custom that the pudding could only be made on the 25th Sunday after Trinity Sunday, and that it was originally comprised of 13 ingredients to represent Christ and the 12 apostles.
Wow, get out. So there's our biblical.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I didn't come across that.
Yep. So yeah, I have basically the same picture of the figgy
that
pudding.
is the same.
But people would make it ahead of time because it stayed good. Like it's one of those things, kind of like the fruitcake, where you could make it. I think I have somewhere in here, like where they had to make it like weeks ahead of time.
Well, and that would, do you think the alcohol would, preserve it? But there's no alcohol in the.
The alcohol's on top of it, if I understand it right.
Yeah, I've got.
It wasn't called Christmas pudding until 1845, and then a woman named Eliza put it into her Modern Cookery for Private Families cookbook. Yeah, but figgy pudding is what it's called in the U.S., where in the U.K. and Ireland it's more commonly known as Christmas pudding or plum pudding or simply pud.
Pud?
Pud.
Pudding?
Pudding.
I love chocolate pudding.
Okay, but yes, in the UK, the Christmas pudding is always made on Stir Up Sunday, is what they called it. Stir Up Sunday. Stir Up being a reference from the Book of Common Prayer, it says. I don't know. But it's the last Sunday before Advent. So it's typically the last Sunday in November or 5 weeks before Christmas. So they made this stuff 5 weeks before Christmas. And that on that day, all of the pudding ingredients would be assembled, and the whole family would be involved in stirring up the ingredients and then steaming them in
we're talking about
pudding
I'm gonna interrupt
basins.
you just real quick because it seems like today you can't hardly. They're like, oh, you can't leave anything out. It's got to be this. Do you think it's because of all the preservatives and stuff we put in our food? Because everything was pure. They didn't have preservatives back when.
I don't know.
Maybe
but
that's
they
why
also
all of our stuff doesn't last a day.
I bet they had belly eggs too, though. I mean, I don't know. But this
Little
is also
dysentery.
a popular tradition was to put a silver coin in the pudding as you're stirring it up, like an actual piece, like a sixpence. That would be like a quarter for us, I think, similar. But they put that in the batter, and whoever found the coin in their serving would have good luck. Unless they choked to death. Like, what the heck? I guess, like, when you were eating it, you just had to be really careful. Like, you didn't accidentally swallow a coin.
Well, my Lanta. Who would have thought of that?
Okay, so once they cooked it and it cooled off, they would wrap it up real carefully, and then they would store it in the basement. So they were storing it in a cool, dry place until Christmas. But the brandy is supposed to prolong the shelf life and draws out the flavor. But this is something that if I would have been making that for today, I would have had to start it like last week.
Serious. So it has to sit.
Yeah, the one I read. I have two here. This one, it takes 1 cup of dried currants. I see. Also, does Flora Walmart sell currants? I don't know.
I don't think we have currants.
Also
around here.
known as Zante raisins. Okay, 3/4 cup of raisins, 3/4 cup of golden raisins, also called sultanas. 2 tablespoons of finely chopped candied orange peel. Also, I don't know where to buy that. 2 tablespoons finely chopped candied lemon peel. Also, don't know where to buy that. 2 tablespoons of finely chopped walnuts or almonds. 1/2 cup of brandy. 2 cups of fresh white breadcrumbs. 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of mixed spice, and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 small apple, 1 tablespoon of black treacle or molasses.
Good night. Where would we even find this?
It would have cost me a fortune to make this. I'm kind of glad I forgot.
I'm glad you forgot.
Zest of 1 lemon, zest of 1 small orange, homemade hard sauce, which is a separate recipe that they're going to show me down at the bottom of the page. But basically, you put all of the raisins, the currants, the almonds, all this citrus peel in a bowl, and you pour the brandy over it. Okay, so the brandy's inside of it too. And then you stir it, and then you cover it, and you let that sit overnight and let all those raisins and everything soak up that brandy. Then the next day, you place the breadcrumbs, the flour, the baking powder, the brown sugar, the spices in a bowl, and you stir it all together and combine it. And then in another bowl, you add the soaked dried fruit mixture, the apple, the suet, the lemon, the orange zest, and the egg, and you stir all that together until it eventually gets really thick and sticky. And then you cut a circle out of parchment paper, and then you lightly butter that, and you fill it up. But then you also
insanity.
have to secure it and tie a string around it. And then you have to bring a large pot of water to a very low simmer. And then you're going to kind of boil it, I guess. And you're going to have a cloth in there in your boiling water. I mean, there is a lot of steps to this. So you end up steaming the pudding over very low heat for approximately 8 hours. Oh, so the water should not be boiling. It should be steaming. So the cloth is there to hold the pudding above the actual water, so you're not soaking it.
Yeah.
Check periodically to make sure the water is still in there, so you have plenty of steam. Then you wrap it up with parchment paper and you leave it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Take a big hard pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's just gross.
That's a lot of work.
Here's how, I got to say this part real quick before we go to the next part, but this is how to light your Christmas pudding. To set, and I was going to do this for you. This would have been great TV. I might have turned, can you imagine if I would have, and like the automatic, like water came from the ceiling that we have in the studio, they would kill me. I would be fired. It's a good thing I forgot to do this. Okay.
It is.
So to set your Christmas pudding on fire, you pour some brandy, 3 to 4 tablespoons, into a soup ladle. And then you hold the ladle over a flame, tipping it slightly to allow the brandy to catch the flame. And then once the brandy is on fire, you slowly pour the flaming ladle over the top of the pudding, and the fire will transfer to the pudding. Then you wait for the fire to naturally extinguish, and then you serve the pudding. But the thing is, traditionally, when the pudding is served and it's on fire, all the lights are off in the room.
Well, it's probably pretty.
And it's supposed to be very pretty.
It's probably
and
pretty.
You carry it and everyone, it's a real crowd pleaser, it says.
Yeah,
Guaranteed crowd pleaser. And it will elicit a lot of oohs and ahs.
Okay.
Ugh.
I'll just light a candle.
Yeah, let's just stick with that.
All right. Here's what we're going to end with today from Ken S. Keys Jr. To be upset over what you don't have is to waste what you do have.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't waste time on what you don't have. Wishing about what you don't have. Just move on.
It's
Focus on what you have.
Don't be a pessimist, pretty much. Always be an optimist.
Focus on the good.
Focus on the good. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good way to end the show.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But this was a fun show. So thank you guys for joining us. As always, we have a great time. You can always find us on Facebook. By the way, Beth and Stacey. We're on Wabash Catch 100 at 11 a.m. daily. And we're also on YouTube, by the way, with Beth and Stacey. So we will see you next time.
God bless you. Have a great day.